Can you hear that song? Can you hear that song? May I find my way back home. Can you hear that song? Can you hear that song? May I find my way back home. Can you hear that song? Can you hear that song? May we find our way back home. Can you hear that song? Can you hear that song? May we find our way back home. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thanks for joining me tonight. We are just getting warmed up now as our numbers flow in. That was Can You Hear That Song by Alana Arian, and we'll be revisiting that in a little bit. But first, let's light our Shabbat candles. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. I've been doing so many Omer blessings that I was about to just autopilot to that. But now we've lit our Shabbat candles and said the proper blessing for them, for this mitzvah. And so now we are ready to welcome in the Sabbath bride as we continue to warm ourselves up for our Shabbat service. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor v'tivorecha, Yishnianu el hamiuchad Adonai echad Shemo echad, Shemo tiferet v'tihila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu b'necha, ki mekor habracha, merosh miked v'mesucha, sof ma'aseh v'machshava tchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, Hila orachmi ori, uri, shir taveri, kevod Adonai Elai nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, time to face your door and welcome in the Sabbath bride. Open your windows, shout it out to the world. Bo'li v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'b'tzola, toch emunei am segula, bo'li chala, bo'li chala. לחדונים לקראת עלה, כדי שבת יקבלה. לחדונים לקראת עלה, כדי שבת יקבלה. I feel warmed up. I feel like the Shabbat bride has entered the building. How about you all? Let us segue now fully into our Shabbat Ma'ariv service with the Chati Kaddish. If you have a Mishkan Tefillah, I have a deficit of space here. If you have a Mishkan Tefillah, it is on page 140. 144. Yitgadal v'yitkadash meraba be'alma divrach yirtevim nichmalchutei b'chayechon v'yomechon u'chayitecho beit Yisrael bagala u'bizman kariv ve'imeru amen yehesh meraba mevarach be'alamu al me'amaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'tamam v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalo shemei d'kudashah b'richu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma ve'imeru amen. And now we are fully ready for the call to worship, which is on page 146 of Mishkan Tefillah. And if you so choose, you may rise, you may face east, you may get yourself into a grounded, prayerful position, however you feel called to worship at this time. We continue on page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light. transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzebaot is your name, ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this, the holiest of your works, and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. For the Shema, we're going to do a tune that connects the Shema and the Hashkivenu together. And then we'll come back to the Ve'ahavta in English afterwards. So the Hashkivenu, if you need to flip for the words, it'll just be the first line in the Hebrew. And that's on page 160. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Machuto Leolam Vaed Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu L'chaim Uvros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha Uvros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai, guard us from all harmful things. O Adonai, keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us daily wrong from right. O Adonai, Amen. Amen, amen. Amen, amen. Amen. And now we go back to page 155. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. Page 156. All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior. You deliver us from oppressors' hands and save us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You performed miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously. Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi chamocha neder bakodesh, nora tehilot osef Nora tehilot osef eleh, malechutecha ra'u banecha bokei hayam, lifnei Moshe ze'eli, anu ve'ameru Adonai, imloch le'olam ba'ed, mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi chamocha neder bakodesh, Nora tehilot osef eleh, Nora tehilot osef eleh. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Page 162. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berito olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berito olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berito olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, Asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berito olam. Ubayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berito olam. We come now to the central portion of our evening prayer. The tefillah begins on page, I lost track of my book. The tefillah begins on page 164 in the Mishkan tefillah. Those who wish may rise, face east, or again, just get yourself into a grounded, prayerful position. I'm going to face east though. Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi agidei matecha. Eternal God, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, El Hagadol, Hagibor, V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, Le'ma'an Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Umagim. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol HaTarav Le'Hoshia, Morid HaTal, Mechakel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayeh HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. You may be seated if you are standing. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Hodesh Shabbat. Page 174. Let's go ahead and include our prayers for Rosh Hodesh because it is Sunday and it starts tomorrow night. So we're here together now. Let's do that. Find favor, Adonai, our God, with your people Israel, and accept their prayer in love. May the worship of your people Israel always be acceptable to you. God, who is near to all who call, turn lovingly to your servants and pour your spirit upon us. Our God and God of our fathers and mothers, on this, the almost first day of a new month, of Sivan, it will be mindful of us and of all your people Israel. For good, for love, for compassion, life, and peace, remember us for well-being, visit us with blessing, and help us to a fuller life. Let our eyes behold your loving return to Zion. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose presence returns to Zion. Baruch atah Adonai hamachazir shechinato l'Tzion. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, atov shimcha ulecha na'el lehodot. On page 178, we come to our prayer for peace. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata l'chol hashalom, v'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, l'chol עת v'chol sha'ah, b'shalomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. kept sliding down. It's hard to play when your instrument's all crooked. But anyway, we got our prayer for peace out. Baruch atah Adonai hamevarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. And now we take a moment for silent prayer. If you have the prayer book, you might use the words on pages 180 or 181, or the meditations of your own heart. Yehi v'ratzon Refi V'hegyon libi Lefanecha Adonai Tzuri Adonai Tzuri Vegali. May the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable to you, Adonai, our rock and redeemer. We turn our thoughts now to those who are ill or injured and in need of prayers for healing. While I say the names on our community list, I invite you to share the names in the chat of people for whom you are praying for healing. We have on our list Mary Kennedy, Rosalind Cantu, Sharon Buell, Mike Haug, Lori Perry, Nick Joliot, Bernard Strassner, Fran Warona, Ariel Botsluva, Gail O'Neill, Rhoda Wessler, Marian Finkel, Skip, Kathy, and Jeffrey Brace, Ronna Butler, Ricky Grant, Shoshana Bat Abraham, Minna Dornfeld, John Manners, Michael Kumakawa, Neil Savage, Joey Jones, Julia Arrighi, Sharon Kalb, Leslie White, Shirley Kronig, Burke Asher, and Rick Grossman. The Misha Berach is on page 372 of the Mishkan Tefillah. 371, sorry. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu Mekor HaBracha La'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It is time to count the Omer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiyeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sefirat haomer. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who has sanctified us with commandments and commanded us concerning the counting of the Omer. Hayom arba'a v'arba'im yom. shehem shisha shavuot u'shnei yamim la'omer. Today is 44 days, which is 6 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. That means Shavuot is almost here. Woo! The Kabbalistic realm of this Shabbat is strength in majesty. This week's Torah portion, Parashat Bamidbar, tells us of the census of the Israelite people in the wilderness, the one such time such a thing is sanctioned. However, unlike our ancestors who are told that they should generally never count themselves outside of this one time, the United States holds a census every 10 years, and this is that year. April 1st was Census Day, though at this point, almost 2 months later, only 60% of American households have responded. All dates regarding follow-up from the census offices, counting the Americans experiencing homelessness, and the decisions that will be made based on the census responses have been pushed back significantly due to the COVID-19 crisis. But you should still answer sooner than later. There are many valid critiques of a census in general, some of which we discussed at our Torah study on Thursday. There is a danger sometimes for minorities to allow themselves to be counted. The Torah, a woman's commentary, writes, "A census is a practical tool, but also a mode of enforcing power. Who does the recording and who is recorded are not incidental issues. Rather, the answers provide a form of centralizing authority and creating a definitive hierarchy. While there is something rousing about the emergence of organized troops from newly liberated and still somewhat beleaguered people of Israel, other occasions of census taking unleash chaos on the Israelites. Yet, due to the way many decisions are made based on the American census responses, such as the distribution of tax dollars in different geographic as well as categorical areas like your healthcare and schools and things like that. Redistricting for legislative and school districts, reapportionment of the number of representatives you get for the House of Representatives. All of these things are affected by your census answers. So it is incredibly important for your local community that each person be properly counted. Also, you can get fined for ignoring it, if you care about that sort of thing too. It doesn't seem that any great distributions of power or wealth were dependent on the numbers of each tribe of the Israelite census of Parashat Bamidbar. The numbers were largely to determine their military might, and perhaps secondarily to strategically assign the placement and jobs of each tribe around and within the camp with the Mishkan at its center, which perhaps could be seen as related to the socioeconomic classes of the day. But it is clear it was important for the health of the community nonetheless, seeing as it was a special exception to a law otherwise forbidding it. I urge you all now, if you haven't already, to go to my2020census.gov and fill out the census to ensure that you and your family are counted and your district gets appropriate funds, representatives, and delegates to serve and represent your community as fairly as is currently possible in an admittedly imperfect system. May we each count, finding our strength in our collective numbers and majesty in our individuality. Amen and Shabbat Shalom. We now turn toward our concluding prayers. The Aleinu is on page 586. Again, if you wish to rise and face east, you may do so. Or ground yourself in a prayerful position. Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Please turn our thoughts now to those who are no longer with us in body, but remain with us in spirit. As I say the names on our committee list, feel free to add in the comment section in the chat any names for whom you are saying a mourner's Hodesh, whether it is the anniversary of their death or if they died within the last year. On our yard site list this week, we have Ottilia Haug, Seymour Oventhal, Ida Geller, Joseph Liss, and David Nemero. And we are still within the year of mourning for Sophie Levy, Donna Thatcher, Deborah Freelander, Abraham Finkel, Harold Herman, Nancy Hollowitz, Roland Laramie, Mindy Ferenz, Moishe Deutsch, Douglas Miguel Rodriguez, Bob Katz, Roger Haug, Paula Cooper, Ernie Weissman, Doris Oleski, Sandra Lenag, David Avery, Art Rich, Jason Brown, Louis Petrozello, Gary Lines, Dorothy Wolf, and John D. Nicola. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. Mourners and those who wish to join them may rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divrach hiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala u'v'zman kariv. V'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'amei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha barichu. Ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. You may be seated. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Imru Amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. 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 V'imru Amen. Now is a good time, if you need to, go get your your wine or your juice or your challah or cookies or what have you. As I do some announcements, we will do Motzi and Kiddush and closing song in just a moment. So some announcements. If you haven't already, please go get your CNS Punim shields tonight. The fundraiser closes this weekend. So if you don't have a mask that has our logo on it yet, you need one now. The link is in the Facebook live feed. It should be on there. And we've been posting it on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and I think it might be on the website. So please go get your mask. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. there will be Shabbat services. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. there will be Havdalah services. Sunday at 10 a.m. there will be religious school. We're doing 2 extra weeks because of the weirdness, and there were some requests for more continuity. We're not going to go all the way through the summer or the rest of the quarantine, but we are going to go through the end of May. So Sunday, 10 a.m., religious school. And Sunday, 1 p.m., adult ed. Thursday, there is no Torah study because we are preparing for Shavuot. So Thursday at 7:30 p.m., join me for Shavuot on Zoom. The link, I think, has already gone out in eKibbutz once. It will definitely go out again. If you are not on our eKibbutz list and you want it, let me know, or let Debbie know at ekibbutz@nershalomva.org. And we will get you the link. Bring with you your dairy dish. Dairy is traditional for Shavuot, so bring with you your food to kind of show off and get us going with some schmoozing icebreaker time. And then our discussion, our study for the night is being people of the book. So bring a book that has been very meaningful in your life, your favorite book, a book that changed your life. And you may want to prepare in advance. We're going to do 90 seconds or less, summarize the entire book. So if it's a long book, you might want to, or like a book with a lot in it, you might want to really practice that ahead of time. And then we'll do some other sacred reading practices that I learned from Harry Potter and the Sacred Text, but you don't need to prepare those in advance. But to keep your summary short, you should think about that a little bit ahead of time. The following Friday, May 29th, next Friday, a week from tonight, is Adriana Breeding's confirmation service. So we will be hopefully streaming to Facebook from our video call, but it will also be by Zoom or some other similar platform. So that link will also go out to our eKibbutz list, so you can participate directly with me and Adriana. And Saturday morning, there will still be Shabbat services at 10 a.m., but Saturday evening next week, May 30th, there will not be Havdalah for everyone in the evening. We will be doing a youth group virtual shulin, so Havdalah and game night via Zoom. So please join us for all of those wonderful things next week. It should be a really exciting, fun, fulfilling, lovely Shavuot weekend. Okay, so those are our announcements. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Ke'avon. Which challah do you think will taste better with the maple chevre, the cinnamon or the everything? Let me know in the comments. Okay. I'll eat the rest of that after. Let's do our closing song. We return to Alana Arian's Ken Yehi Ratzon. Yeah, Julia asks, how long will that challah last? The everything will probably be gone by the end of tonight. And the cinnamon will probably last till the end of tomorrow, maybe till Sunday. It's still only one batch worth of dough. I just split it into 2 smaller loaves so I could have different flavors. Oh, and the voting is for cinnamon to put in the maple chevre. Great. Thank you, guys. Okay, here we go. May I be saved. May I be free. May I find space to just be. Can you hear our song? Can you hear our song? May I find my way back home. Can you hear our song? Can you hear our song? May I find my way back home. And now we call to mind someone who has been good to us, someone we love, someone we want to hold in our thoughts this Shabbat, and we offer them this blessing. May you be saved. May you be free. May you find space to just be. Can you hear our song? Can you hear our song? May you find your way back home. Can you hear our song? Can you hear our song? May you find your way back home. Don't put Badger in the candlelight. Now we also hold in our thoughts someone who is maybe a little difficult, someone who frustrates us, someone who we might be glad to have space from during this quarantine, or maybe someone we are unfortunately sharing the quarantine with. That's not mine, because I'm just throwing that out there as a possibility for you. And we hold that person in our thoughts as well and offer them the same blessing. May you be saved. May you be free. May you find space to just be. Can you hear our song? Can you hear our song? May you find your way back home. Can you hear our song? Can you hear our song? May you find your way back home. And now the last blessing is for all of us collectively, all that is good in this community, in our digital Ner Shalom community, in our Prince William County community, in our American community. May we be saved. May we be free. to just be. Can you hear our song? Can you hear our song? May we find our way back home. Can you hear our song? Can you hear our song? May we find our way back home. Can you hear our song? Can you hear our song? May we find our way back home. Can you hear our song? Can you hear our song? May we find our way back home. Can you hear our song? May all this and more be true. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I will see you in the morning. This isn't. Oh, enjoy